So good evening, everyone. So today on Arunachal Mirror, I have with me three panelists. First, we have Dr. Alana Golmei, who is lawyer and activist, and he's the founder of Notice Support Center and Helpline, which is functional in New Delhi. And next, we have Mr. Meje Taku, who is the vice president of All Arunachal Pradesh Students Union. And third, we also have the Karpu Chisi, who is a sub-editor of Independent Review. She's unable to join due to some technical issues. So today's discussion is based on racial slur against Northeast people. So what I'm trying to say is this is not the first case which has happened to any individual from Northeast, and I will say this is not the last time. It will keep on happening. So first I would like to know from Madam Alana Golmei, what can be the remedies? We have been working in Delhi for the last many years, but things are not improving. Ma'am.
Yes. See, it is actually, like you said, we have been working, and I myself have been working in this issue for more than 10 years. But now you have seen what is happening right now. Nothing has changed. So how many protests, how many FIRs against all this kind of discrimination? So many things we have been doing. But it looks like if you before coming to this racial slurs, the latest one of Mr. Parasing, last year when the COVID situation started, that was in, February 2020. Since the time that COVID cases were reported in Delhi or other parts of India, this racial discrimination has started, and people started calling people who look different, like who has this kind of mongoloid face as a coronavirus, linking us to this, for spreading this virus. So that means during that time, what I felt in my heart was that our efforts, our work of advocating for more than 10 years, to stop this or to control or to reduce this kind of racial discrimination, just gone back to square one. So you have seen how many of us have come out on the streets in 2014 when our young, brother, late Nido Tanya, was lynched. That also in the capital of India, in the streets of Delhi. So this is why we came out. Now, after that, let me just go back a little bit. That there was the committee, the Best Bureau Committee was constituted. This was actually because of the voices from the people, because of the protests across the country, because of the student representatives, because of people from all walks of life from the Northeast. They protested day and night, rain or shine. And that is the reason why this Best Bureau Committee was constituted. And you yourself, Tagam, is also one of the committee members. I myself was a member of the committee members. So therefore, we have put down 1,500 recommendations. After meeting all the people from different walks of life, we travel across India. What are the recommendations? So that was actually a complete package. That was actually something that, could have been achieved. So it was submitted on 2014 July. So now you tell me today, what have we achieved? Is there anything that has been done on the part of the government? Whether it is I don't want to, involve politics here, because what I'm saying is that whatever government it may be, the present, the past, nobody has taken it seriously. And I think none of the ministers or the representatives from the Northeast states, the 8 Northeast states, and all the chief ministers, past, present, whatever, and the Northeast MP forum that you call it past, present, they have not seriously advocate for this one. So till today, who has raised this? Who has the guts to go and raise the bill for amending this anti-racial law in the parliament? None. So till today, our voice are just crying in the streets. And you have seen this from the Best Bureau Committee report. There are so many things which have been put down. And first and foremost was that to amend, either to have an anti-racial law or to amend the IPC, that is 153C. But till today, that is not amended. So what are the appropriate laws that we have? There were no exemplary actions in all this kind of crimes. They will say that this is an isolated case. So therefore, since there's no stringent law, since nothing has happened after committing this today also, yes, this has been like in the media, this has been hue and cry. But then as we know, it will go again after sometimes this will disappear. And only when there's some cases like this, we picked up, we have the debate, and then we said we have to do this, do that. But it's all gone in the bin, and nothing happens. That's the reason why till today, even after many years, decades of advocating for, to stop this racial discrimination, it will keep on happening. And also the mindset, it has to do with mindset, and there are many factors, and there are different kinds of, things that we need to address. That is the reason. Yeah.
Okay. So this is almost 7 years since we have submitted the base Barua report.
Correct.
And there is no any major steps taken by the center in order to, you know, sensitize people about Northeast people and also to enact the anti-racial law. So before I move back to base Barua committee reports, let me go to Mr. Meje Taku, who is the vice president of AAPSU. So Taku ji, आपने FIR लॉन्च किया है recently. तो आज फिर से दोबारा 2 यूट्यूबर ने हमारे MLA निनोंग इरिंग सर के अगेंस्ट फिर से racial slur यूज किया है. So what kind of action you are going to take again? And I also want to know कि आपने जो FIR लॉन्च किया था उसमें कौन-कौन से सेक्शन आपने डाले थे या बताइए.
Hello, Tagam, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, we can.
Hello.
We can hear you.
Actually, I am on the road now. Actually, आज दिन भर वो अंशुल चावल बस बात रहा था, तो उसके ज्वाइन करने गया था बुलाने का कारण, इसलिए अभी तो मैं घर पहुंचा नहीं है. तो आपका टाइम हो गया बोल के ऑन द वे में मैं अटेंड कर रहा हूँ. फॉर इनकन्वीनियंट मैं माफी मांगना चाहूंगा. वेल, अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, जो regarding the racial discrimination जो cases है in the context of the Arunachal Pradesh and Northeast as a whole, it is, you know, since so many years it's happening. ये हमेशा होते आया हमारा अरुणाचली हमारा Northeast के ऊपर में. Even when I was there at Delhi, in Bangalore, in the बहुत सारा जब हम खुद जाते हैं मेरा ही साथ ऐसे होता है. Some people they used to call me as a Chinese, कोई दाजू कहते हैं. ये हमेशा होते आया है. तो इसलिए इवन रिगार्डिंग द पारस केस ये पहला बार नहीं है. और फिर पारस केस खत्म नहीं हुआ, फिर वन मोर केस मैंने और कोई भी आ रहा है. ये जो है दिस इज नॉट केस, ये हमेशा होते आया है. दैट्स द रीजन हम लोग टीम AAPSU ने day before yesterday we submitted FIR at the Itanagar police station, and yesterday also I had a meeting with the DGP and SP of SIT. तो मैंने अरुणाचल गवर्नमेंट का जो DGP सर के साथ मीटिंग किया और जो केस को देख रहा है SIT का जो SP है, SP सर के साथ हम लोग ने मीटिंग किया. मैंने खुद जाके आया, तो उसने हमें इंटीमेशन दिया अरुणाचल प्रदेश जो 3 पुलिस ऑफिसर्स को भेजा गया है वहां में पंजाब में, और वो ऑलरेडी अरेस्ट हो गया है और वेरी सून ही विल बी इन अरुणाचल प्रदेश. वो हमारा डिमांड था. हम लोग ने कहा कि विदिन 14 डेज में यहाँ लेके आना है. तो उस हिसाब से ऑन प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट हम लोग को मिल रहा है. इट्स सेटिस्फाइड. और हम लोग ये इसको वी वांट टू सेट एग्जांपल. वी वांट टू सेट एग्जांपल. दोबारा ऐसा नहीं होना है, क्योंकि ये जो हमेशा होते हैं. राइटली मैडम ने एग्जांपल लिया था, एक एग्जांपल ऑफ निधो तंगा केस. उस केस में भी हम लोग ने ईटानगर में काफी प्रोटेस्ट किया, इवन बहुत सारा जगह में प्रोटेस्ट किया. तो उसी तरह का सेम केसेस होते रहता है. तो वी फील कि ये इसी तरह कल को चलते रहेगा. तो हमारा जो स्टूडेंट्स है, अभी आपको मैं एग्जांपल बताना चाहूंगा. जो हाल ही में लास्ट ईयर का फर्स्ट जो लॉकडाउन था, जो पेंडेमिक का फर्स्ट वेव में था, उस समय उस वेव में भी इवन इन बेंगलोर, दिल्ली, मुंबई, कलकत्ता, काफी स्टेट में, सिटीज में हमारे जो अरुणाचली, हमारे जो नॉर्थ ईस्ट के स्टूडेंट के साथ में जो ये डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, जो रेशियल डिस्क्रिमिनेशन हुआ, ये हम हमेशा ये रिपोर्ट मिलता है. तो इसी तरह कल को भी होगा, परसों भी होगा, आने वाले सालों में भी होगा. तो ये क्यों हो रहा है? गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया शुड थिंक अबाउट दिस. ये हमेशा सरकार को ये सोचना पड़ेगा कि ये हमेशा क्यों ऐसे होते रहेगा. तो वी फील दैट कि एज पर माय ओपिनियन थ्रू यू, ये हम ओपिनियन देते हैं कि देयर शुड बी प्रॉपर लॉ, देयर शुड बी नेशन ऑफ प्रॉपर लॉ. एंटी रेशियल लॉ होना है. भारत सरकार एंटी रेशियल लॉ होना है, स्पेशली फॉर द नॉर्थ ईस्ट पीपल. हम लोग का सेफ्टी के लिए ये एंटी रेशियल लॉ होना है. अगर एंटी रेशियल लॉ अगर होगा तभी ये जो है डिस्क्रिमिनेशन जो है ये कम होगा. अगर उस लॉ में सुविधा, उसमें क्लियर कट मेंशन होना है कि और उसका पनिशमेंट कितना महीना का, कितना साल का पनिशमेंट होगा जो नॉर्थ ईस्ट का अगेंस्ट में जो डिस्क्रिमिनेट करेगा, उसके लिए प्रॉपर क्लोज डाल के एक प्रॉपर लॉ अमेंडमेंट करना है. तभी ये अच्छा से इन फ्यूचर को अगर सेव कर पाएगा. अदरवाइज ये इसमें खत्म नहीं होगा और कल को भी होते रहेगा.
Okay, thank you. So we are also joined by Madam Karpu Chisi. So welcome to Arunachal Mirror.
Thank you very much.
Okay. I think
I'm sorry.
being
sorry.
echoed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, so madam, what do you think? Why there is a repeated racial abuse and slur against Northeast people? You being a journalist from the state, what is your take on this?
See, I'll keep it really simple. I'm not going to go so technically. The reason there is racial slur or racial attacks still here in India is because there is, discrimination अभी भी होता है क्योंकि ये घर से start हुआ है. Every family in the country, in our, even in our state also, हम लोग के यहाँ पे हम लोग discrimination सिखाते हैं बच्चों को. ये नहीं बोलते हैं कि ये चीज मत करो, वो मत करो. हमारे यहाँ से छोटा छोटा चीज जो होता है, स्टार्ट होता है, which actually comes under racial discrimination, वो सब घर से ही सीख के जाते हैं. We are, we are educated, but we are not literate here. हम लोग पढ़े लिखे तो है, but हमारे पास में, सिर्फ learning है. We don't have this understanding word with us. हम by the book जाते हैं, by the book पढ़ते हैं, book को ही रट्टा मार के पास हो जाते हैं, and call ourselves educated, literate and something, but we actually don't understand what is actually, the root cause of this whole, attacks, racial attacks and repeated racial attacks. So I would say कि आपको खत्म करना है ये चीज तो घर से start करो, and अपने बच्चों से start करो. Everything starts with our own houses, our own places. तो वो करने से I think it will somehow control this kind of attack, especially जो notice के लोगों के खिलाफ होते हैं. So that is my take actually.
Okay. So coming back to Alana, ma'am. So we have submitted around 1,500 recommendations to the Ministry of Home Affairs. And as I made a status update this morning, because I being one of the member of the Bezwarwa committee, I was the youngest one. So I had no much role, but I was a mute spectator. And I have learned a lot from that particular Bezwarwa committee report. So now coming to the enactment of anti-racial law. So before I go to the law, ma'am, why do you think the government is not implementing this? Is government not so keen to do for the people of Northeast?
Yeah, as I said, government, both past, present, they don't take it seriously because it is not them. Unless they put themselves in our shoes and feel the pain, then only they will be able to understand. Because it is only Alana Golmei who has been racially discriminated and called Chinky Chow Mein, Momo in the street. It is not them. So how can you understand my problem if you're not in my shoes? Therefore, you will not take this seriously, number one. Number two, this could have been done. This could have been done, but just that they are actually buying time. Okay, so now what we said, going back to Bezwarwa committee, we have been saying that the amendment of IPC 153C, and also the other one is also to have a zero tolerance policy like the special police unit for Northeastern region, which we have in Delhi. The similar type should have been set up in different parts of the country in metro cities. The other one was actually to raise massive awareness about the Northeast culture, the Northeast people, and because we have more than 45 million population in the Northeast and we ourselves are so diverse. And so all these things needs to be informed. So educational intervention, of course, that is important. And then multi-purpose Northeast Center, okay, to actually help the Northeast people so that whoever face this problem, can be addressed. This is another one. We are asked for also fast track court and also public prosecutor from the Northeast to, raise all these crimes against Northeast people, serious crimes in terms like when it comes to serious crimes in major cities. So there are a lot of recommendations which I don't really need to spell out everything. So all this has not been done. In principle, they said that they have accepted, but till today they are not really interested. So I think that is the reason. That means they have not really understand the pain that we're going through. They have not understood, that is the reason why till today nothing is being done.
Okay, so madam, this is my personal perception. What I felt is like the government is little bit, not interested in enacting this particular racial law. Government denies that racism exists in the country. So what is your take on this, Madam Karpu?
Okay.
Alana ma'am can also say. Any one of you.
I would like to request Ms. Alana to go for this.
Okay, ma'am.
See, this, unless you accept The root cause, how will you address it? Unless you address the wounds, how will you put a plaster? How will you cover it? Therefore, they need to accept the fact that racism exists in this country. You cry racism when you go to the Western countries. When you cry racism, when you go to Australia, when you go to America, when you go to European countries, right? But then when all these things are happening, when you're doing to your own citizens in your own country, you are ignoring it. So that means, for example, going back to Mr. Parasing, it is a deliberate attempt. He has some kind of deliberate attempt. It's not that he is not aware of it. So there are many people, there are 2-3 things here. Some people don't really know because they have not been informed. Yes. That is why they don't really know about Northeast India. Some people, they know very much about where is Arunachal Pradesh, where is Manipur, where is Nagaland. But then just to insult, they are deliberately using this kind of tactics like Mr. Parasing to, discriminate us. So now when you talk about awareness, I tell you, Mr. Parasing has 4.63 lakh subscribers in his YouTube channel. When he is saying that Mr. Ninong Ering doesn't look like an Indian, and he is saying that the map of Arunachal Pradesh is somewhere towards in China, then how many people he will be sending out wrong information? Now you can imagine. So this is the kind of mindset that they have. Okay. So, we have to do a lot of things, and to do this, all concerns, that means including the governments, they have to take the lead. They have to do something.
Okay. So now coming back to Karpu, ma'am. So what do you think? What made Mr. Parasing, to term us as Chinese, that Arunachal doesn't come under India? What is the root cause? Is it education or the brought up?
See, with all due respect to Miss Alana, whatever she said is true. We really need some stringent punishment from the government of India to, punish these kind of acts. But at the same time, the thing is that, see, I'll be very practical here. We have this strong, after this Nirbhaya case, बहुत सारे strong amendments बने. Rape has been, considered as the most dreadful act, criminal act. इसके बाद में बहुत सारे acts बने. After this racial attack on, I think last 2014, I think one Nido later, Nido Tanya was also a victim of that racial attack. तो ये सब होने के बाद भी बहुत सारे laws आते हैं, amendments आते हैं, acts बनते हैं. But the point is that क्या government of India या state government, any कोई particular states के state government वो लोग सबको punish कर पाएंगे क्या? नहीं होगा. It is like practically impossible. So the root cause basically is अब जैसे कि मैंने कहा था पहले भी कि it starts अपने घर से, हमारे घर से. We have this system with us, still follow people. We have these people still following orthodox system inside our house. There are discrimination on the basis of color, on the basis of race, even gender also. लड़की लड़कों में भी भेदभाव. So all these acts, they actually tend to teach our youth the meaning, the existence of discrimination. ये word ही exist नहीं करेगा अगर family में, तो उनको पता भी नहीं चलेगा क्या है. And at the same time, Mr. Paras, he's just he's just ignorant. उसको तो मतलब बहुत condemn करते हुए, but at the same time उनको जितना, जैसे कि मिस अलेना कहा कि इतना ज्यादा सब्सक्राइबर्स है उनके, आफ्टर दैट पर्टिकुलर इंसिडेंट ऑल्सो इतना ज्यादा सब्सक्राइबर्स उनको मिल जाता है. दैट इंडिकेट्स, दैट इटसेल्फ शोज कि यहाँ पे इतना अभी तक मेंटालिटी आदमी का चेंज नहीं हुआ है. वो चेंज करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया तो क्या पूरा दुनिया का गवर्नमेंट लग जाएगा, अभी तो चेंज होना बहुत मुश्किल होगा. तो फर्स्ट वी नीड टू चेंज आवर मेंटालिटी, एंड मेंटालिटी चेंज करने के लिए सबसे पहले घर से स्टार्ट करिए. Teach your children ki discrimination naam ka cheez nahi hota. We have many articles. We have article 15, we have article 16, we have article 29, which tells ki wahan pe discrimination, any kind of discrimination is illegal by law constitutionally. But kya hota hai? Kuch nahi hota hai. जब तक उसको आप प्रैक्टिकली चेंज करने के लिए आपको एक लाना पड़ेगा, एक काइंड ऑफ फ्रेटर्निटी, एथिक्स, इंटेग्रिटी, ये सब आपके पास में इनकलकेट करना पड़ेगा अपने बच्चों को. देन ओनली आई कुड सी इंडिया चेंजिंग, देन ओनली आई कुड सी आवर स्टेट चेंजिंग, एंड देन आई कैन सी people, a person like Paras changing actually.
Okay, so now coming back to Mr. Taku, so 2 more YouTubers have abused Mr. Ninong Ering sir. So what is your next step? Are you going to lodge in a fire again, or?
I can see.
हेलो,
हाँ हाँ बोलिए।
सुनाई दे रहा है? हेलो,
हाँ हाँ दे रहे।
आपने क्या कहा?
कि और 2 यूट्यूबर ने पारस सिंह की तरह ही निनोंग इरिंग सर को रैशली अब्यूज किया। सो आप दोबारा एफआईआर लॉन्च करेंगे?
रिगार्डिंग दैट, मुझे अभी तक क्लिप नहीं मिला, वीडियो क्लिप। बट सी, निनोंग इरिंग, जैसे कि वही मैं एग्जांपल लेना चाहूंगा निनोंग इरिंग साहब का। निनोंग इरिंग का जो लुक्स है, वो लुक्स जो है इंटायर अरुणाचल का लुक्स है, इंटायर नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न का लुक्स, जो लुक को पहचान में नहीं आता है। इसलिए मैंने बार, जो मेनलैंड इंडिया में जो जो रेसल जो डिस्क्रिमिनेशन होता है, ये हमेशा होते आया है। और अगर ऐसे फिर दोबारा अगर किया है बोलने से वो जरूर फायर लॉन्च होगा। उसका मैं उसका वेरीफाई करूंगा। उसके बाद में अभी सी, आपका ये, इट्स नॉट अबाउट द नीनोंग इरिंग ओनली। ये कोई कहता है नीनोंग इरिंग साहब जो है एमएलए है, उसके लिए हम लोग उसको साथ देता है। इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट। इट्स अबाउट द अरुणाचल। ये ट्राइबल पीपल का बात है। इट्स अबाउट द टेरिटरी ऑफ अरुणाचल प्रदेश। जो पेरस का बात है वो हमारा इरिंग साहब को तो बोला ही बोला है। इट्स अबाउट द आइडेंटिटी ऑफ ट्राइबल पीपल ऑफ अरुणाचल प्रदेश एंड नॉर्थ ईस्ट एज ए होल। एंड इट्स अबाउट द एग्जिस्टिंग, जो हम लोग का जो आइडेंटिटी है एग्जिस्टिंग है। इट्स अबाउट द लैंड, जो हम लोग का लैंड है उसकी बात है। और ये इट्स अबाउट द आवर नेशनलिटी, वो हम लोग का नेशनलिटी का ऊपर भी क्वेश्चन राइज किया है। इसलिए हम लोग ने एफआईआर लॉन्च किया। और जो कल हमारे जो आपका डीजीपी साहब का जो बताने का हिसाब से, उसको ऑलरेडी केस रजिस्टर किया गया है रिगार्डिंग द पेरेस अंडर सेक्शन 124A, सेक्शन 153A, 505 क्लॉज 2 आईपीसी का हिसाब से उसको ऑलरेडी वहां बुक किया गया है। एंड सून, वेरी सून, विद इन दिस 2-3 डेज वो अरुणाचल में आएंगे। और मैं अरुणाचल सरकार को भी आपका माध्यम से मैं स्पेशली एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को भी कहना चाहूंगा, उस जब वो आएगा, सबसे पहले उसको क्वारंटाइन में जाने देना है। क्वारंटाइन में जाने देना है, टेस्ट करना है, उसके बाद ट्रायल में ले जाना है।
Okay. So now coming back to madam, so can you explain these sections that has been mentioned, ma'am? Alana, ma'am.
Actually, no, like that is the reason why, mainly why we're saying is that there is no as such. When somebody is, venting out the racial slur to another person in India, we don't really have appropriate sections to invoke. That is also the reason why when all these things happen to our boys and girls who are in the metro cities, police themselves will come and tell them that, okay, which sections do we insert? Because we don't find appropriate sections. And if the person belongs to a SC/ST category, then they actually try to invoke, SC/ST under SC/ST Atrocities Act. But this itself is also 99% did not get to, this registered under these provisions. So therefore, what we're saying was that in the Best Bora Committee report, let us just go back. 153C is actually not completely asking for anti-racial law, but this is actually to actually punish and make it non-bailable. Okay, those people who are racially, targeting another community. This itself is not only for the entire Northeast people, but also, of course, for the entire citizens of this country, so that this section should be made, severe, and then this kind of thing can be done. And at the same time, yes, to have some kind of illustrations, like suppose if you call racial slurs like Chinky, Momo, Chowmin, and many other, because if you put Chinky, Chowmin, Momo, then they might use another terms, so we do not know. So we have to put etc., etc. Okay, any racial slurs, then it will be penalized under so-and-so act. That is called under 153C. So this was actually what was supposed to be amended, but till now it is not happening. I agree with Karpu, what she was saying about the mindset, and it has to start from the family. But yes, it has to do with mindset. And to do with mindset, it will take time, because our education system, nothing is being mentioned about it, so there is a long way process. I mean, like 2-3 multi-pronged ways we need to address these issues, and awareness is also extremely important. This has to continue, but these are not being done much. So we need to, do all kinds of things. But meanwhile, when all this kind of serious crimes are happening, you see, you have Richard Loitam, who was beaten and to death, in Bangalore, in a engineering college, and they said he's a drug addict, right? And then they actually, then Saloni was called some kind of racist slurs, and he was lynched to death in Kotla Mobrakpur in Delhi. So it is, and then another Arunachal student in Bangalore, a lawyer himself, told him to lick the boots of the lawyer, the house owner, and he called Jangli into all this kind of thing. So what I'm trying to say is that we're trying to address this kind of cases where racially motivated, things are involved, so that we can use this appropriate law, appropriate sections, and invoke it, and then some exemplary actions should be done. I'm not saying that having this kind of sections will control the entire kind of racism in this country. It is not so. But then to control in some way by invoking these appropriate sections. So this is what actually we are asking for. Yes, we need to do a lot of things. We also ourselves from our side, we need to do a lot of sensitization, So,
yes,
a lot of things to do.
So one last common question for all three of you. Does racism exist in Northeast India?
May I say first?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Racism also exists in this country. If we have anti-racial law, there is nothing like it. If anybody from other parts of country, when they go and face racial discrimination or racism in the Northeast, I think when we are talking about this, we should address it all together, and not because we not only for the Northeast and they do not face, not like that. So this anti-racial law will address the entire citizens of this country, and we must come out and help them and speak and advocate together for the rights, for all the citizens of this country. Okay,
Thank you, ma'am. Karpu, ma'am.
Yes, actually, your question is very, confusing. Should I? Okay.
Yeah. Discrimination. What the thing we are complaining against right now with Paras and other YouTubers. Does this exist in our state also? Do we, racially discriminate our fellow mainland friends? There are complaints.
Yes, I hope I'm not going to be in trouble after answering this, huh? But I'm going to be very honest. And I'm going to be very, leading me. So yes, there is, in fact, it depends. Actually, I'll tell you what, Mr. Tagam, it actually depends on the parameters that we actually set कि कौन सा को कितना बोलने से वो racial attack हो जाएगा या कितना को कितना तक बोलने से वो just एक fun में एक joke में लेगा आदमी लोग, we need to first find out about the parameters, because I'll be honest, I have lots of friends from outside Arunachal, and in fact one of my friends, we tease her saying nipak, and she takes it so lightly. She don't take it like but she doesn't take it out of the box या कुछ उनको खराब नहीं लगता, because that is we just say that कि तुम तो बाहर का है तो बाहर का आदमी को we call nipak. That is like normal. That is not derogatory, and we are not demeaning you or anything. And she understands it. And बाकी का केस में भी कुछ ऐसा है. But at the same time, जब वही टोन को, that वही particular word को आप कुछ अलग सेंटेंस के साथ जोड़ते हो या वो कुछ अलग टोन में बोलते हो, आप गाली दे रहा है, किसी को झगड़ा कर रहा है, then you use निपाक. That will become a racial attack. So first we need to find out कि parameters क्या है racial attack के, मतलब racism को वो करने के लिए, explain करने के लिए, because you know what, there is no universally accepted legal definition of this term racism. Actually कोई नहीं है universal definition इसका अभी तक book में, by the book में. तो इसलिए मैं वही that is my tag. ये है, यहाँ पे है, notice में भी है, हम लोग बोलते हैं, बाहर के आदमी को भी बोलते हैं, but at the same time इस तरह के जो मिस्टर पारस का इंसिडेंट हुआ, इस तरह के लेवल तक ऑफ कोर्स नहीं जाते हैं, एंड इस तरह के लेवल के स्टूपिडिटी तक हम नहीं पहुंचते हैं, एंड इस तरह के कोई वीआईपीस को हम नहीं बोलते शायद, इसलिए नहीं आता होगा वो पैरामीटर में. That's my answer.
Final remarks from AAPSU.
Okay, but as per my opinion, in context of the Arunachal Pradesh, मैं तो clearly कहना चाहूँगा नहीं है, बहुत मिनिमाइज कुछ होने से बहुत कम चीज में होगा, बट मेजर जो है मैंने कभी देखा नहीं context of Arunachal Pradesh. I want to take example of business community of Arunachal Pradesh. See, in capital complex Itanagar, Narlagan, like headquarters like Alu is coming, Sepa, Pasigat, अब वहाँ हर जगह में देखिए 99% are from outside of the states, like from UP, Bihar, Kolkata, Delhi, बहुत सारा जगह से है. In context of सारा जो रहता है business community है, why they are doing business in Arunachal? The reason, there is no differentiation. There is no discrimination in Arunachal Pradesh. The people of Arunachal Pradesh are peace-loving people. हम लोग का जो लोग है वो peace-loving है, इसलिए racial discrimination नहीं होने के कारण से even business community में भी 99% outsider है. And number 2 point, see, in context of the even in the major projects like highway, like power project, हर जगह में भी अरुणाचल मैक्सिमम 99% जो बिल्डर्स है, जो कंट्रैक्ट कंपनी है फ्रॉम आउटसाइड ऑफ द स्टेट्स. यहाँ पे सी हम लोग का यहाँ पे जितने भी हम लोग जो रहते हैं वो लिविंग है. और कभी कभार जो जैसे कि हम लोग का लोग बोलते हैं कि हारंग बोलने से दैट इज नॉट derogatory remarks. उसको स्लर जो वर्ड है उसको नहीं माना जाएगा. हारंग मीन्स जो वही है कि हम लोग उसको एक बाहर का आउटसाइडर को हम लोग प्यार से बोलते हैं, आइडेंटिटी एक नेम देते हैं. जैसे हम लोग का अपना लैंग्वेज में हम लोग को बंगी बोलते हैं. बंगी मीन्स इंसान है और हारंग मीन्स भी इंसान है. वो वही वर्ड को जैसे आपने बोला मैम दीपक जो है ये खराब वर्ड नहीं है. दीपक जो है बाहर का को दीपक बोलते हैं, जैसे हम लोग को ट्रैवल बोलते हैं, उसी चीज में है. बट दे यूज्ड टू कॉल अस चाइनीज, दे यूज्ड टू कॉल अस चोचो, दे यूज्ड टू कॉल अस मोमो, दे यूज्ड टू कॉल अस दाजू. जो हम लोग को जो वो कॉल करते हैं चोचो मोमो के हिसाब से कॉल करते हैं. और इवन ये अभी का मैं एग्जांपल लेना चाहूंगा. कर्नाटका में एक जो कॉल हमारा लोग को वहां बेंगलोर में इतना मार के भगाया गया था. उस समय में अरुणाचल सरकार का तरफ से एक कमेटी कंस्टिट्यूट किया फैक्ट फाइंडिंग कमेटी. तो उसमें यहाँ से होम डिपार्टमेंट से, एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट से और स्टूडेंट का तरफ से रिप्रेजेंटेटिव मैं खुद किया था. आप देखिए जब वहां मैंने उसी रेशियल डिस्क्रिमिनेशन का फैक्ट फाइंडिंग कमेटी का तौर पे गया, जब वहां पहुंचा मीटिंग की ओर जा रहा था तो नीचे जब मीटिंग नहीं होने से पहले जब हम लोग कुछ आपका आफ्टरनून को मॉर्निंग का मीटिंग करके आफ्टरनून को और एक मीटिंग नहीं होने से पहले हम लोग एक होटल में लंच करने के लिए लंच करने जो फैक्ट फाइंडिंग कमेटी है हमको ही वो चिल्ला रहा है ओ मोमो चोचो. आप सोच के देखिए जो मैं कमेटी मेंबर मैं गया मुझे ही वहां में चिल्ला रहा है. आप एग्जांपल देखिए. और रीजनली हाल ही में जब फर्स्ट वेव लॉकडाउन का वेव में जब मैं दिल्ली में था वहां पे हमें बोल रहा है कोरोना ओए कोरोना व्हाट आर यू डूइंग हियर. आप सोच के देखिए हमें ही वहां में हम खुद एग्जांपल बता रहा है. और मेरी तरह हम ऐसे स्टूडेंट का रिप्रेजेंटेटिव होने के नाते मैं लाखों लोग से जोड़ता हूँ. लाइक बेंगलोर का स्टूडेंट से, कर्नाटका का, दिल्ली का, कलकत्ता का, हर जगह से सेम कंप्लेन है. तो इसलिए मैं बार बार कहता हूँ कि जो ये डिस्क्रिमिनेशन का मैं कंक्लूजन बोलना चाहूंगा. देयर शुड बी लॉ. उसको कड़ी से कड़ी एक लॉ बना के कड़ी से कड़ी सजा होना है सो दैट कि लोग अगर इसको एक दो का पनिशमेंट करेगा ये कम होगा. नंबर 1. एंड नंबर 2 पॉइंट जो है जो हमारे ऑल इंडिया में जो सीबीएसई का जो बुक्स है तो उसमें नॉर्थ ईस्ट का एक प्रॉपर एक चैप्टर होना है वहां पे और नॉर्थ ईस्ट का डिटेल्स को वहां रखना है. हम लोग जैसे ये आपका
That is already there in Base Barwa committee.
हम लोग का हर एक एरिया का जैसे हम कभी हम प्राउड के साथ कहना चाहूंगा हमारा अरुणाचल the students of Arunachal are very talented. They know where is Punjab, they know where is Chennai, they know where is Kolkata, they know where is Bangalore. वहां में कौन सा जाति रहते हैं, कैसे वाला इंसान रहते हैं, वो सारा जानता है. लेकिन मैं दुख के साथ कहना पड़ रहा हूँ मेनलैंड जो इंडिया का बाहर के लोग अरुणाचल में कौन रहते हैं, कैसे है देखने में वो पता नहीं, मिजोरम में कैसे है पता नहीं है, नागालैंड में कैसे लोग रहते हैं पता नहीं है, असम में कैसे लोग रहते हैं वो पता नहीं. ये दुख की बात है. Therefore, there should be proper racial law. Thank you very much.
So with this, we shall conclude this session. Thank you so much, everyone, especially Alana, I'm
Thank you,
joining
Mr.
from Delhi.
Tagam.
Yeah. And I hope with this incident, the government takes some interest and do something for the people of Northeast.
Yeah. Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you.